them Cowboys!
It feels so good to play that audio clip, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. We them boys, it sounds good. But how about them Cowboys, man? Harvey, take it away, man. I'm just so lost in words right now.
Jerry, you already know. You see the hat. You see it, Jerry?
I see it. I see it.
You see the cigar.
I see the cigar. I know where we're going.
Okay. You know I'm gonna call you everybody's boy that hates the Cowboys, Stephen A. Smith. Now, before we got on, I didn't see no tweet. I'm still waiting for it. But listen, I don't know what day it was. Stephen A. Smith came on and said something about the Cowboys. I think it was the betting odds.
I actually have the clip.
You do? Okay.
Let's take a listen.
Okay.
I think so. I think Dallas on the road at Minnesota. Obviously, there's going to be an elevated level of urgency considering the fact that they just lost to Green Bay. And oh, by the way, they could, if they have a collapse, they could miss the playoffs. Maybe there's a level of urgency, but I think Minnesota's been balling. I think they're on their home turf, and I think everybody gets up for the Cowboys. The reality is that the Dallas Cowboys are coming into Minnesota. We see Kirk Cousins doing his little swag thing. We see Justin Jefferson balling out, being an elite receiver. Dalvin Cook is running the football effectively. I am not going with Dallas minus the 1.5. I'm taking Minnesota.
Okay, Stephen A. Smith, you keep playing, right? You keep playing with my emotions, our emotions. But I think we got another clip, don't you? Can you play that, Jerry, for me, please?
Ski Myers and lifted trucks with mud on the tires, and I'm back.
Woo! We're back, baby. Say what it is. I told y'all. Stop the run. Pressure Kirk Cousins. Not even Cousins. He's like my distant sixth cousin. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Quit playing. If we play like this like we're meant to play, these are the type of games we get. An 8-1 Vikings team got just demolished by the Cowboys. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, we're 7-3. Thank you, Detroit Lions, man. You guys surprised us today. You took care of a division foe. You allowed us to, get back right aligned where we're supposed to be at. You know what I mean? So yeah, 7-3. It feels so good, man. I'll say this, Kendall. Can you just respond to the Justin Jefferson superstar? What was his stats for this game?
Justin Jefferson had 3 receptions for 33 yards this game. Pretty good game. His last 2 games against the Vikings hasn't done much. He showed out last week against the Bills, but this week, and given that the game did get out of hand and whatnot, but Trayvon Diggs did a pretty good job on Jefferson when they weren't matched up a lot, but for the most part, he kind of shut down. What that whole Viking. I hate the injury for the Vikings, the Derrishaw injury to the tackle, probably the concussion. Probably gonna be out Thursday night too when they play the Patriots on Thanksgiving. But that was a total dominance by the Dallas Cowboys. Offense, defense, special teams. It was a complete dominance. Then from the Vikings standpoint, this was a primetime game, correct? I mean, So yeah,
Game of the week.
Middle of the day anyway. But yeah, this it was dominate. You can't be on the team bus or the team playing, dancing with your shirt off and with the chains and stuff around your neck, and then a couple weeks later you up there and you put up 3 points against the Dallas Cowboys, and we just saw what Aaron Rodgers did to that same defense last year, and he don't have nearly the amount of weapons that the Vikings got. T.J. Hawkinson dropped 2 touchdowns in the red zone that changed the trajectory of that game. The offensive line was a mess today. The offense, terrible. You got beat up, got injured, or what? Derrishaw's out. That was a mess. That was not good for the Vikings. I know y'all say I'm a Patriots fan, but I just hate that they beat them so bad. We got to face the leftovers of that team on Thursday. They're gonna come in there pissed off. And my offense didn't look good today against the Jets, but we got the win. But I get that on my show later on in the week. But this game here, it's all about the Cowboys. And they showed up today after an embarrassing loss last week to Green Bay. They kept the lead this week. Zeke looked good. Tony Paul, I think he should be starting for Dallas. He looks very good. Running the ball and catching it. That pass rush, they did. Me and Jerry talked on the phone. Dante Fowler, Williams, Micah, D. Law, Gallimore. I can need I do it? Need I say any
Morris
more?
Armstrong, go to give him.
Armstrong, like they've been
Yeah.
like the whole defense, 3 points to that offense with all those weapons. That man, hats off to the Cowboys. A great performance. They got to go up in the power rankings this week. They got to.
Man, I'll tell you this. It was, and we saw, I mean, if those that were tuned in, right? I hope all of you were tuned into the game. You know, you had that was the largest victory, margin victory since I believe, what was it, 1972, 1975 by the Dallas Cowboys. So, I mean, there's great questions to ask. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dalvin Cook, you know, he had okay game. I mean, he did get to run on us. He had 11 attempts though, 72 yards. So it just shows you that the Cowboys were able to actually stop the run this week, you know, to a degree, because we saw Dalvin Cook, he's been going crazy this season. So, you know, at that, very impressive. But there's been some things that were brought to our attention during the game. I want to give credit where credit is due. For instance, that catch by CD right before the halftime, that was insane. That catch, I mean, it had to be on the money, and CD had to be on point, and he had to come up big with that catch, and he caught it. Then there was a timeout called. What do you think about that situation, Kendall? Before we all get into it,
When I seen it live, I was like, well, the catch on CD Lamb, my God, that was huge. I love the catch, but the kick. What about Brett Maher with the leg? I mean, that was a big kick, 60 yards. Hit it like twice, I think, like the one behind the other. That was huge. That was big there. I was just everything just went Dallas' way this game, man. It's not much to say. But that was the timeout, and they reviewed the catch. That was crazy because I thought they was going to try to get over and one on Dallas there. I was like, they would have to make him kick this ball again, and I didn't think he'd make it twice, but he did. But what is it about the Cowboys? They seem to play weird things seem to happen with the Cowboys in a good way when they play the Vikings the past 3 years. Look at the first year when they played them. They played them 3 straight years in 2020. Andy Dalton, well, of course, CeeDee Lamb made a crazy catch. I think they did lose that game though. They lost that game, I believe. But the next year with Cooper Rush, Dallas, they win when nobody thought the Cowboys would win that game. And this year, coming off an embarrassed loss to Green Bay, they come in there and play like just dominate them. Like it might be a second home for the Cowboys there in Minnesota because they play pretty good there. They do, man. They play They play pretty good there.
I don't know. This is what I'll say. I was so upset about that review that New York did. I didn't. I was lost. So they ran the play. They kicked the field goal, and then they said that it didn't count because they had a review booth or whatever from New York. I was so confused. I don't know if anybody else was. Was I the only one?
well, I mean, the thing is was there a timeout called before that?
I don't think there was. Yes, there was. So yeah, CD Lamb caught the ball.
Okay,
Mike McCarthy called timeout.
okay.
Yup. The field goal team comes on and they kick the ball. They whistled after the kick, saying that there was a call down from New York after they had already run the play. Now, I don't know if it's me, but I thought in the NFL it should stop. Like it didn't matter if you already ran the play, it's over. But
You
I
know,
was just a little confused on that part.
they obviously need to clean that up because that was a very messy situation. Because once the ball is snapped, that's it. You can't be coming up with these kind of excuses. That just shows us that these referees play too much with the Cowboys, man.
What if they ripped back and reviewed it, kept the call on the field, but then when the Cowboys kicked the ball, they missed it. That would have been big right there. If they go back and then they make him kick that ball for a second time and he misses it, comes up just short. Man, I know a lot of Cowboy fans out there would have been pissed about that.
Well, we have a caller calling in, so it's a good friend of ours, Ramiro. Ramiro, how you doing? You're live right now on the Cowboy Cast. How you doing today? Tell us how you feel about this win.
I feel great about the win. I think it showed a force of dominance by the Dallas Cowboys defense
Feels good.
and their offensive line. I think they established everything that we thought what they could do and put it to rest early, and start looking forward to the Giants game.
Man, what? Let me ask you, Ram. What do you think about that situation at the very end? I mean, you personally. I mean, what we're just talking about as far as why was there so much confusion? We like Kendall said, that could have blown that additional lead. You know, not that we're trying to stack the points, but you know what? I don't care. You know what? Let's stack the points. You know, let's pour it on teams. But overall, what were your thoughts about that? What was your biggest takeaway from that? That NFL.
I think the NFL has to look at the way at certain situations they conduct in this replay. On this situation, the Dallas Cowboys had just called a timeout. Plenty of time for the NFL to look at it and then to send down the booth review from wherever they send it, from New York, wherever they send it from. To me, it delayed the game a lot more than it should have. They called a review to stop the game, a review right before the kick happened for Maher. And that was a 60-yard field goal. The NFL on other situational plays, they call it down to call instant reviews under 2 minutes every play in a faster pace than what they did tonight. It could potentially have swung the momentum for the Cowboys against the Cowboys.
Well said. You see, that's exactly what we're trying to get to is that we need to, you know, understand that. And it feels like the referees are always kind of trying to pull a fast one on the Cowboys team. As it is, you know, Cowboys kind of do it to themselves in some games, right? But I mean, like you said, let's get back to the game overall. I mean, going forward, I mean, though the Giants lost, do you feel that the Cowboys still need to make sure that they're on their P's and Q's?
I think the Cowboys, things just worked out for them as far as the Giants because they had already beaten the Giants earlier in the year.
At Giants too, right?
At the Giants. Now you go home. Both of them just came off a game. They got to go to Dallas. They got to play an afternoon game at 3:25. Just go out there, show dominance, win the game. You got a 10-day rest, and just go from there. But I think they got to establish the same momentum they got against the Minnesota Vikings tonight.
Let me ask you one more question, and then I'll turn it over to Harvey and Kendall. Did you see Jason Peters line up at left tackle and Tyler Smith at left guard?
I did. I thought Tyler Smith did very good. Had a couple on his pass blocking, on the first situational pass blocking. Really got his hands on that defensive tackle, and they just stalemated him. Didn't go back. I think we're going to start seeing in the future down the road that they're paving the way for Tyron Smith to come back.
Yeah, I believe I'll pick that audio clip on during the week where it says, I mean, Mike McCarthy just said it. He goes, when Tyron's ready, he's gonna get his spot back. So yeah, like you said, I believe the left tackle is gonna be secure for Tyron Smith, and we're gonna see a lot of Tyler Smith at left guard, which will be good. So we can just assess for the future, right? So in other words, in the offseason, do we need to address potential left tackle, right? Because we don't know if Tyron's going to give us that additional year that he has left in his contract. But Harvey, go ahead, take it away. Thank you, Ram.
No, thank you, Ram, so much. I appreciate it. Man, I don't know. Like I said, Jerry, they need to get it together, man. That was just too much time. And he said it right. What if the momentum would have swung if they missed that field goal? Or what if they kicked the field goal and it gets blocked? You know, those are all the things that we need to talk about. And, you know, as much as the NFL talks about, hey, you guys need to do this and not do that. And you know, as far as rules and regulations, but what about y'all? I mean, you had a timeout and all that time to figure it out. It's kind of upsetting. And if it would have changed the game, I know it would have been a lot of news on Monday morning about what happened during that time or that call. And what took him so long. But the question about left tackle, I'm all with it. I wasn't at first, but man, whatever makes us win and win these games and be dominant, I'm with. So,
do you have any questions for Ramiro? Kendall?
Just really, just what did he think about, just the pass. He's still on?
Yeah, he's on.
Yeah, just what did he think about, the pass rush of the Cowboys today and how deep that D line is?
Oh, I think you saw it early on. Did you see? I know you guys saw the focus early on stopping the run. I think what they started seeing was they were able to stop the run and get to the passer. But I thought once that left tackle and that guard started feeling the pressure, you saw the dominance of that Dallas Cowboys defensive line, that they could create pressure from all angles, and that is very scary if they could put anybody in those second and long, third and long situations.
Do you think that go ahead, Jerry?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you think that the Vikings offensive line is that bad, or the Cowboys pass rush is that good?
Ooh, good question.
I think the left tackle, once that left tackle went out, I think it was open season on Kirk Cousins. On that left tackle, once he went out, it was open season on Kirk Cousins.
Wow. So, I guess it's a little mixture of both. My question, Ramiro, is: do you think that Mike McCarthy finally got the coordinators in the right direction for the remainder of our tough schedule ahead of us? Do you feel he's done enough?
I think you saw that he had a meeting with both coordinators on Monday, and whatever they talked about, whatever they refocused their directives on, that's what they did today. And you saw how the Cowboys can play a game.
Yes.
Turnover free, run the ball, play smart football, and play great defense. And those are the keys to get you guys to the Super Bowl.
Well said, man. Well said. Ramiro, we really appreciate you. Number one, for always being, being here with us, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the discourse. We're looking forward to having you on a little bit more often. So let's see how it works on Thanksgiving, and stay safe. We'll talk soon.
You guys too. Have a good one. And how about the
Cowboys? Let's go, baby. Man, that was an awesome caller, man. I love that. I love that when we're able to share that discourse. But yeah, man, overall, I mean, it's hard, right? Because I will say this. Somebody was saying, somebody that I was watching the game with, they said, man, is this team must really stink. I was like, no, they're actually 8-1. They're actually on a 7-game winning streak, So the biggest takeaway from that is definitely Mike McCarthy, really, got these guys in. He got Dan Quinn in, and I don't know if he did at the same time, but obviously he got with Kellen Moore. There's some things that they still need to clean up. I think there's some penalties that we saw out there. Some situational football also, right? Like as far as passing, why are you passing? You know what I mean? Like, why are you passing the ball? But, in this case, it worked for the Cowboys' favor. Obviously, Mike McCarthy has the coordinators right in the right direction. We should feel confident, and we should be obnoxious Cowboy fans because, if we're a passive Cowboy fan, people are going to hate. And if we're loud and proud fans, they're going to hate regardless. So it doesn't matter. Just be proud of it, right? So I'll tell you this, let's go into Thursday with a ton of confidence. Man, it was just a great game, man. It's so awesome to see what the Cowboys potential have, with this kind of dominance on offense and defense. Diana Zuniga, love how one of the loudest stadiums was only Cowboy loud. This is crazy, man. It's crazy. Take it away, Harv.
No, man. So, I've talked about this before. We need to keep up this momentum. The Cowboys should have done this to Green Bay.
Yes.
Right? So I talk about that. That's my fault with Mike McCarthy. When the games come that you need to win, do you win them? And I think we talked about this before. This game should have been a close game by what we've seen the Cowboys play, right? But they blew them out. Crazy. So we had that conversation. When's the last time we've seen this kind of blowout the Cowboys have had against an 8-1 team? Now we talked about offline, right, Kendall? Yeah. It was the Saints, but that was a really close game. I can't remember how dominant a team has been against a team that was 8-1, undefeated, whatever, on top of the NFC. I don't know, Kendall. Like to me, they got to play the way they play and not play up to the way teams are playing.
And the
Mm.
thing is about the Cowboys, that's a great point on Harvey. They have to do it consistently. You can't come out one
Yep.
week in Lambeau Field and do that, give up a big lead, and just look anemic on offense or whatnot. And the defense can't stop a nosebleed when it comes to running. You can't do that. And then the next week you come out and shut. You got to do this. Continue. You got to be consistent with it. They got the Giants big matchup Thursday against the Giants. I think the Giants are what 7-3. Johnson
Yeah,
seven.
they're now
7-3.
they're now
Giants
7-3 with the
7-3, Cowboys are 7-3. So it's right here for number 2 in the division, basically. So I think this right here, right now, Cowboys are number 2 because they got the head to head against the Giants. But the Giants, they know they're gonna be upset about about a couple months back on Monday Night Football. Cowboys gave them their first. They were 3-0 then, I believe.
Yeah, they
So
were.
or two, yeah, 3-0. Cowboys came in there, kind of manhandled them there. So this Cowboy team has gotten better. The pass rush is coming on. The Giants. I know we probably get into this on Thursday, the X and O's of the games. But if I'm the Cowboys, I'm licking my chops and I'm ready. After I see what Detroit did to the Giants today, I'm Johnson. I'm not scared of Giants. You already went up on them already. I'm not. Giants don't really scare me. I think the Cowboys go in there Thursday. They punch them in the mouth like they've always done. But what the Giants going in Dallas. The game is in Dallas. But I think that it's big. It's a big game for Dallas on Thanksgiving, Turkey Day. Everybody gonna be sitting home eating. Big game for the Cowboys.
I feel very confident with this Cowboys game. Now, come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course Thursday, we'll have a special kickoff on Thursday. Kendall, I don't know if you could join us this week, but definitely like we've been doing. We've been breaking down this game on Mondays. Tuesdays we try to break down the offense, and then on Wednesdays we try to break down the defense. And we kind of no, we don't kind of no. What we do is we actually play the audio clips of Mike McCarthy speaking along with the actual opponent's offense. So we're breaking that down on Tuesdays. Wednesdays we do the defense breakdown of the opposing team, and we also do the breakdown of what Dan Quinn said during his press conference. So we try to bring all that to light, and then of course we share our thoughts. Now, luckily for us, right, we look good, man. I know I look real good, man, because I think my bold prediction was, I expected Zeke to have the thing with Zeke is that they were going to bring him in slowly. That was the report. But I said, no, give me Zeke with 2 touchdowns, and man, he made me look good. And I also called and said, I think that we're going to get a lead, and Jason Peters will be in this game. And of course, we're going to see some Tyler Smith at left guard. And man, it happened. So I feel like Romo Damas here, But no, in all sides, the only reason I feel so confident and so good is because it just shows you that we do our homework. And man, what the coaches said, what we played when we played on the air, those live clips, man, exactly the way they said they were going to address it, the game plan that they had in place, it fell to perfection in this game. And we have to give respect where it's due, man. And in this case, I think that this is why people hate the Cowboys so much, is because you come out here, you are expected to beat the Packers, and then everybody sells their stock, and boom, the Cowboys come back against a better team and they outplay them, and that's just outclassed. Oh, Tober got a catch. LOL.
Man, stop.
That's a good
Come
one.
on, man.
Clark played solid. Yes, he did. He did.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. That boy played pretty damn good, man.
I like what I saw.
That's 33, right? Number 33.
Yeah. I like what I saw. He's fast.
He is fast. We'll see, man. They're just working him slowly,
Yeah.
And I think Dan Quinn learned his lesson on leaving Micah Parsons in the middle. That boy needs to play the edge. That's just the way it is. Just like we go the way Zeke goes, we go the way Micah goes. He cannot play middle linebacker, man. I get it. He's a great player and he could probably play it, but the place he makes a difference is on the defensive line.
He's more effective on that D line. Where it's not even close.
So, we'll see how Clark comes along, and I think that's a great position move to get Clark in there and then move Micah Parsons down. Like I said, Clark will make mistakes, but he's so fast and so quick that he kind of makes up those mistakes with his quickness and his speed. So we'll see if they keep doing that rotation or not with the Giants. But I'm sure that since it worked against the 40-3 Vikings, that it's going to continue to go that way.
No, yeah. Man, it just it's super relieving, right? To get this win also, just to add, right? Because I mean, number one, it takes a lot of pressure off of the fan base, off of the nation, the Cowboys nation, because man, we literally I say this on the kickoff show on the East West football. I even said it on on the Cowboy kickoff show. I said, man, there's a real strong possibility we don't win this one. Our playoff opportunities are gone. They're pretty much out the window. But with this win, I mean, this is kind of giving us the right confidence. Lions gave us big help. Shout out Chris, right? Calling that out on the air while we're live. But I will say this: I mean, Cowboys capitalized and they took advantage, and they look really good. Very well coached, and everybody looked like they were sticking to their assignments, like you said, for the most part.
Hey Jerry, so Kendall, I got a question for Kendall because he's technically the non-biased, right? Non-biased guy between all of us.
Man. He's the
Almanac, right? K Dub. So I got a question, Kendall, because a lot of people have been asking this question, and it's funny because I just looked at my Facebook and one of my friends said Zeke's out of a job. But you tell me, not being a Cowboy fan, what do you see as far as Zeke playing and then Pollard, like the pace and the rhythm of the offense and what they look like as a non-bias?
I think when Zeke is on the field, you think most of the time it's probably going to be running, or not. It ain't gonna be nothing going down the field, passing or whatnot. Because no offense, he's not your pass catching back. He's not the guy that's going to run. That's never been his MO. With Tony Pollard, you give the defense something else to worry about instead of him being that downhill thumper runner that you give 25, 30 times. Pollard, you have him. It might be a run, might be a sweep, stretch, zone run, or it could be a pass or whatnot. You could do a lot with Pollard, and we've seen that they line up Pollard outside, and he beat the linebacker. I think it was the linebacker. He beat him for the touchdown and whatnot. Great pass by that, by the way. I think with Pollard, it just opens up that offense even more. You notice when Pollard starts or when he plays a lot, that Cowboys offense is something to deal with. It is. With Zeke, it's too predictable, I feel. I just feel Zeke. If they continue to play, think about the Cowboys. They do this one week and they come out next week and they just throw it all away that they get. You know what I mean? They have to continue to build on this. And I will start Pollard, use Pollard a lot more than I use Zeke, and just bring Zeke in like in a red zone package or third and short. And this is probably his last year in Dallas anyway. So just do it. That's what I would do. That's how I would use Tony Pollard. It opens up that offense, give him a plethora of options then.
About time the Cowboys got a statement win. Was this a statement win, Harvey?
I think it was. It had to be. I think they saw themselves. They thought they were a great team. They were great defensively. Because they're leading the NFL in sacks at the time.
Yep.
They go into Green Bay and they lose a 14-point lead. Now you're like, man, we just lost a 14-point lead. So like I said before, I think they needed that to happen. So they can look themselves in the mirror. They're like, we cannot think that we're going to beat everybody on Sunday or Monday, Thursday, or whatever, and think we're going to get away with mediocre play. Anybody can beat you on even given Sunday. That's why they play the game.
What do you think? Statement win?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Coming off how they played last week, they come back on the road. I know Cowboy fans travel. They took over that stadium, but statement win. Absolutely. This goes a long way for this. It's going to go a long way for the season for the Cowboys. It's a big win by Dallas.
Yes, this was a statement win, and I think he's going to build up the right momentum. We got, like I said last week, Pollard as the starting running back over Elliott. I think that they have to take this into consideration. I think that right now this is the right nucleus. I think what we had heard and observed was Zeke he needed some time to feel around and get some bang in, right? Get some bang shots and see how hard the defense was getting so he can wear down that. But I think right now Tony Pollard is just amazing. I want to see if my biggest takeaway also is I want to see if they continue to throw the ball to Tony Pollard, get him involved in the passing game, because look at the success they had getting him the ball in the passing attack.
No, I think that's going to help us, Jerry, in the long run. Taking advantage of those linebackers, especially deep. Man, I didn't even. I know Pollard went out there. I was like, wait a minute, that's Pollard out there.
Yeah.
That was shocking. I think they just saw something in the defense when he went out there and they're like, man, this is a total mismatch. Why are we not, throwing the ball to him? And when Dak looked him off, I was like, oh, maybe not. And then he went back and threw it. I was like, wow, yeah, it was something they probably saw on film, or even in the course of the game that they saw that it was such a mismatch that led in the linebacker out there.
You, Kendall, have been saying about that all year round. I mean, since last season. Why isn't the Cowboys using Tony Pollard as a wide receiver, or as a pass catcher, or involved in the passing game more as he did it at Memphis?
Yeah, I've been saying it like I think they should have been used them like that. I think they should have been done with Zeke early in the year. I mean, Zeke, he's been banged up the past couple of years or whatnot. But I think Tony Pollard like I just said, he gives them a lot more explosive. He's younger. I mean, if anything, if Dallas don't re-sign him, he's gonna make some money next year somewhere. Jerry, they would have had that checkbook ready. He's gonna make some money. He ain't taking no hometown discount.
Yeah. There's some players that we need to lock up. Terrence Steele.
Show him the bag.
Yeah, we need to get Terrence Steele paid. We need to pay Trayvon Diggs. We need to pay Tony Pollard. So these are some players. Well, these are good problems to have, and thank God the Cowboys have salary cap that's going to go over to the next year. I mean, what do you think of the Diggs versus Jefferson match? So we briefly talked about it. Kendall, what was the stat line again?
3 catches for 33 yards for Justin Jefferson.
Justin
3 catches for 33 yards. So albeit the game did get out of hand, but still, I mean, 3 catches for 33 yards. That's good.
I mean, even if it wasn't Trayvon, right? Cowboys defense just did an all around great job as far as keeping him contained.
Wait, did you say Justin Jefferson? Who's that guy?
Who the fuck is that guy?
I gotta go back and look at how many times he was targeted. I want to see how many times he was targeted, but
just being honest, man. Like, where was he at?
Hey, I gotta have fun with it, man. Let's see. Dak was finally accurate throwing the ball on short yardage out of the backfield and within 10 yards. Hey, what about that dime to Tony Pollard, man? Woo!
Yeah. So I think we saw the film. I saw the film on that, and on the interceptions that Dak threw in Green Bay, he had the backfield wide open for like 7 to 10 yards on his dump off, and he didn't take it. That would have been 7 to 10 yards easy. So now that lets you know maybe the transitions that they're making or the adjustments they're making, like, hey, if nothing's down the field, just dump it off. And obviously you saw it work in this game, even on some of the dump offs, and then the long Tony Pollard throw. But maybe they're starting to look back at their mistakes and refining it. So hopefully they continue it, and we'll see what happens. But we'll see, Kendall. You know more about that Diggs Jefferson matchup. But hey, man, Jefferson, it almost seemed like he didn't even show up, man.
I will say this: the body language looked terrible right there in the while he was sitting on the bench, man. That didn't look good for a superstar.
I mean, if you remember the game he played, see when he goes up against a top corner, he doesn't he doesn't play good. Look at the game earlier this year, Monday Night Football against Darius Slay in Philly. They did a number on him too.
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson. I mean,
true.
What if Tre'Davious White plays last week against Buffalo? Does he have that big game? You know what I mean? Like he's been showing up against mediocre corners for the most part, bad secondaries. You play a good team with a good corner, he hasn't really shown up. I don't want to hear that mess about the offensive line. Yeah, Minnesota offensive line is atrocious. Was atrocious today. I don't know about. I haven't watched a lot of them this show and how they held up all year, but they looked okay last week against Buffalo against a good defense, good pass rush. But yeah, he didn't look good today.
Ken, are you saying that Justin Jefferson is not a true? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, no.
Oh man!
Hey! It's just what we got to do, man. It's what we got to do. But man, for the most part,
one other quick note though.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs has played Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson this year. number one, two first round picks from LSU. He's played pretty good. He has not gave. I know in the Chase matchup, he didn't match up against him every play. But when you look at the box score, Jamar Chase didn't have a big game. Justin Jefferson did not have a big game.
Hey, great point, man. Because Jamar Chase is another animal out there. He's a total monster. We can see how he can take over a game single handedly. I mean, look what he did to damn near Saints. I mean, he ripped the heart out of all the Saints Nation, man. And it was a great example, especially after his last year performance, and he was able to carry it over to year 2. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, Cowboys defense was able to step up and take those playmakers away from the game, not make them able to be game changers.
We got a question? Dak was finally accurate throwing the ball in short yardage of the backfield. I think we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to that because if you notice Dak, no, I talked about the dump offs, but have you noticed Dak earlier, the first week and then earlier when he came back, anybody that was running across the route, he threw it behind them. And he threw it. I'm like, man, what are you doing? And we missed all those opportunities on third down. But given that, I think he fixed it a little bit. And if you look at his footwork, I think on that, I don't remember which play. I think it was Tony Pollard play where he looked left, looked middle, looked right, and then he dumped it off. Like, it looked good, man. His footwork looked good. I think that's going to be a lot better for him too going forward, right? So he can be more accurate. But overall, man, I think the offense played well. The defense, obviously, I said he was going to get 5 sacks. Don't forget that. You know what I'm saying? I said it was more than that, but I'm just saying I knew they were going to tee off on Kirk Cousins. They ended up with 7, right?
Yes.
But I just think, and I kind of questioned the Dallas Cowboys on bringing in Takk McKinley. Why do we need another pass rusher? Then I questioned about Basham. We still have him on IR. He came back. Why do we still have him?
I actually like Basham, man. I
got you.
Hey, you never have too many pass rushers. You never can have too many pass rushers.
And you're right, Kendall. I think, and I go back to the time that Jerry Jones said, "I need a war daddy," right? But I think he's got a bunch of them in the building. So I get it, man. Especially people getting hurt going down the season. It makes a lot of sense now, man. But we'll see. Look, hey, today was a win. I get it. But we're going to see what happens on Thursday because NFC East woes, it doesn't matter when you play, how you play, what your records are. At the end of the day, man, it's still a tough game. But we'll see, man.
So there's already some chatter out there. It looks like Odell Beckham Jr. and Michael Parsons are having some fun on Twitter, man.
Oh no.
Odell Beckham Jr. They went crazy today, and Michael Parsons with the 3 eye emojis, if you are an iPhone user, the eyeballs, and he said, come on then. So there is a report. Now, the thing is, it's from CBS Sports. It says here, as per CBS Sports, that I don't want to take it out of context, right? Because I did get the tweet.
I heard a little rumor, Jerry. I don't want to stop you, but
no, go ahead. I'm looking for the actual.
I heard there's a rumor that OBJ might be in the building on Thursday.
Okay, so this is what it says here. Cowboys and Odell Beckham Jr. believe that a deal could happen when they meet, per CBS Sports. Now, CBS has kind of been known to sometimes take a leak information a little bit too early. And the way we saw this offseason where people were flipping teams like crazy, it started with Randy Gregory and it didn't finish, man. It was, do you remember that, Kendall? That was horrible. Explain it. How many guys did it? Didn't Zadarius Smith, wasn't he one of them?
Was it
Zadarius?
Yeah,
the Ravens. He was going to the Ravens.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He was going to, I think he had agreed with the Ravens before everything could become a fit. Then he switched and went to Minnesota.
Yeah,
it was somebody else did it too. I know.
Randy Gregory did it with us with the Buccaneers, and then you're talking about J.D. McKissick. with the Commander.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, I'm watching the game. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
JD McKissick did it. He was supposed to go to Buffalo but came back to Washington.
So CBS Sports also went on to say this: Jerry Jones really wants OBJ to have a star on his helmet. Boom. I will say this. I think that he would just give the offense respect that they have yet to get, especially when it comes to the Russian attack. So you see, you can't be stacking when you have OBJ because regardless, I know he's coming off a torn ACL. I get it. But Odell has been in this league. He's a superstar, but he's not asking to be a superstar. But the thing with Odell is Odell can give you his plays, his money plays. He can, there's certain things that he can do, and he knows what his limitations are. So I say bring him in, man. I mean, it's not gonna draft. There's no draft capital at stake. Give him to the end of this year. Allow him to play, make the plays that he can make for you on offense. Let him allow your rushing game to, your rushing attack to get going and get off and be able to close the games. And then when we need to, just sprinkle a little bit of OBJ, a little bit of CD Lamb.
Do y'all give him? I mean, it's a rumor that he wants a 2-3 year deal. Do y'all give him that this year?
Yes. I believe it would be a 3-year, but it'd be very incentivized. But they will front load him the money that he needs, and then I believe the 3rd year would be it would give the Cowboys an option to get out. So he would be the remainder of this year, which wouldn't cost you that much. And of course, next year, that's kind of like where the money would come from. But, at least now he'll have that offseason with the playbook or whatever playbook we'll have at that time. So I say bring him in. I think if anything, I mean, shoot, the last time the Cowboys brought in a big time name like this, I mean, that was back in 1995. I think I was like 12. No, I was like 11 years old around that time. So you could do the math of how old I am, but it doesn't matter. I don't look that age, but still, I will say this. Damn, that year we won. We went to the Super Bowl, man. So I just tell you, when you bring impact players like this, I mean, we need a splashy signing, man. I'll tell you this. Ndamukong Suh is annoying. He's always been an annoying player, and for the Eagles to get him, that was a bit splashy. But I think OBJ to the Cowboys, that star, man. What are your thoughts before we get off, guys?
I think they got some questions coming in. Let's see if I can answer one of them.
Vikings play to our strengths, in my opinion. OBJ, come play for the star, baby. Let's go. Alex is with it. But
I'm with it too,
what about the strengths?
It's weird, Kendall, because I think Walt put something out earlier. Walt, it was kind of interesting. He said the Seahawks and Lions was not a game for the Giants. It's just those teams that are built to beat them, but they can beat every other team. Was this the case with the Cowboys, you think? Like we just knew it was a bad mismatch, or were they just a better team?
Well, against the Vikings?
Yeah, the Cowboys.
Well, I think historically and recently in recent history, they know Kirk Cousins well. They played in the same division with Washington, and Kirk Cousins has always struggled. I don't know his record against Cowboys, but he's really struggled.
Yeah,
so he's in Washington. He was not good against. I mean, a bunch of games that Dallas just beat him. I think Washington had a better team sometimes, but Dallas just always had Kirk Cousins' number or whatnot. It's just a matchup. You're kind of like Patriots, Jets, and a lot of other daggone things. Like some teams just have your number or whatnot. And the Cowboys, they know Kirk Cousins. They used to play him twice. So and then in Minnesota, like he won the game in 2020, but it won't like, you know what I mean? Like he's always struggled against the Cowboys. I think it's a good matchup. Physical defensive line, physical passers and whatnot, and D team that can get after Kirk Cousins. It's just how it's always been when the Cowboys play Kirk Cousins. They really it's a bad matchup. But be careful because y'all might see them again in the playoffs.
Exactly. That's the thing. And that's why I brought it up.
Yeah. That's the thing right there, because you did a number on this time. You beat them the past 2 times.
Okay, no, stop right there, man. You said that about last year and how
Yeah, I did say that, but it's tough to beat a team that many times, bro. Like the way y'all dominate them, y'all Vikings gonna want your ass in the playoffs.
We got Ramiro. For God's sake, will Cowboys stop running screenplay? Well, I mean, shoot, man. Well, if it's not working, why do we continue going to it, right? What do you think?
I don't know. I think I'm okay with doing them. It's just it seems like every time Kellen Moore does it, he does it at the wrong time, and then we get negative yards. So same with I'm with him when he runs the reverses. I hate when he runs reverses, man. It's like he's running them at the wrong time. Um, but it's gonna hurt him come down the line if he keeps running that stuff because it seems like it's not working too well. The swing kind of screen passes I like, but the actual screen passes itself I don't like. I don't know why he's doing that. It ruins the momentum and the rhythm of the offense.
For sure, for sure. All great points, man. But what a game, man. I'll tell you this. We will bring you some more tomorrow. Uh Stay tuned. For those, that are not subscribed, make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube page, man. I'll tell you that's where it's at. And this cap is actually a cap similar to the one I'm wearing from True Brand. This one. Now, luckily, not worn. Brand spanking new. But this is gonna be the second giveaway. This one we're gonna give people. We're gonna give everybody some time. Okay, so we're gonna give everybody about, I would say, 2 weeks. So not during Thanksgiving, unfortunately, because that's too short of a turnover. And this one, it was kind of a 1 week thing from the first giveaway. I'm saying the first cap giveaway. It was it was I think it was too short of a giveaway, but I mean too short of a notice. But going forward, for those that are tuned in, make sure also that on your YouTube page you are public, because that'll allow us to see at least your email. Because we had a lot of users, and that was kind of hard to see who the actual user was, because your Google is tied to YouTube. You just get your Gmail and log into YouTube through your Gmail, and right there make it public, and from there we can see at least the username that you choose, right, and your email, so we can go ahead and make sure that you get you that prize. Now that cap is actually exclusive cap. You can't find it. It's not. I mean, good luck finding it. Number one.
Sold out.
It's sold out. So that's gonna be the next giveaway. That one we're gonna give you guys 2 weeks. So that will be from 2 weeks from today, actually.
Hey Jerry, let's do the Texas week.
You're saying let's postpone it to the Texans.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, let me see.
Texas Showdown, December 11th.
December 11th. That gives people a lot of time to get on the same page as us and get subscribed, right? So yeah, how about that? How about, let's see, just to make sure, when is that game scheduled? December, what'd you say it was?
December 11th.
December 11th. I like that. Let's do that. December 11th. That cap will be given away December 11th. So share, subscribe, share, tell somebody that that enjoys YouTube. Hey, tell them, make sure you're subscribed to the Cowboy Cast. Of course, you can also find us on TikTok. Did you know that? You know what I mean? I try we try to post the Facebook reels, and of course we have an Instagram too. We try to post on Instagram because we understand everybody has a different taste and their social medias, but make sure that you guys comment, like and subscribe and find us. It's the Cowboy Cast, exactly the way you see it there. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we're also on TikTok. And yeah, man, we've been having a lot of fun with that. But anything else, guys?
Kendall, I'll let you go.
Good win for the Cowboys today. I'll say my second team, Cowboys.
Yes, sir. He's almost there.
I admit it. I admit it. I'm loving it, man. Y'all probably about to sign OBJ. He is meeting with the Giants and the Cowboys after the game Thursday. So, but I will admit on live air, I'm a Cowboys fan. That's my second team. Second team, I'm a Cowboys fan. So I'm looking forward to being out here with you guys the rest of the year, a couple times during the week. But great win for the Dallas for the Cowboys.
Hey,
How about them Cowboys?
Let's go, baby. Let's go. He's almost there, guys. So let's continue, man. We need your subscriptions. We need the likes. We need the shares. You know, how about a little bit of jam? I like this jam, man. What is this? Huh? How about this jam, man? Let's see what we got.
Thank y'all.
Mud on the
Appreciate it.
tires and I'm back.
Have a great night.
Feeling like a $1 million, still trying to live it up.